Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm on Khaldor TV, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have the start of Enter the Storm 3. You might remember the last tournament that was run by GosuGamers. It was actually it was such a huge success, especially the finals, of course. And now after Enter the Storm 2, of course, we have the start of Enter the Storm 3. The qualifiers have just started. 7 teams are already invited. Top 7 teams from the last season. Originally it was top 8, but one of the teams disbanded. And now we have 9 qualifier tournaments where teams are going to gather ranking points, and at the end of those tournaments, of course, the top 9 are going to advance to complete the 16 team lineup that we're going to see in the finals of Enter the Storm 3, which is sporting not only $10,000 in cash prize, but also a lot of hardware with another $8,000 coming in. So a lot of money on the line there for sure. Therefore the teams will try to win every single one of these qualifiers. You have to gather those ranking points, so you need to go as far as you can. And we are starting today with the first qualifier. You can find additional information in the description of the YouTube video if you're interested. Also, of course, if you want to catch the next live stream, then definitely have a look at those. The dates are in there. And we are starting today with Meteor Makers going up against Roccat in this case, actually. This is going to be a pretty cool one. First of all, we have a best of 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is always a pleasure to cast. But also, Meteor Makers was formerly known as To Be Determined, and you might know these guys from previous videos when they were able to win against Virtus Pro, for example, in that murky game that we just had, I think, roughly a week ago. So they were picked up by Meteor Makers, and they are, of course, now going to try to take down Roccat, which is not going to be easy at all. But well, let's find out if they can do that. So game number 1 coming up at the Enter the Storm 3 qualifier on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Alright everybody, welcome to the first Enter the Storm qualifier for Enter the Storm 3. We're currently looking at our first round game between Roccat and, of course, Meteor Makers. To the left side we have Meteor Makers with Blade on a Zebo, Remat Boller on Jaina, Jacobs on Johanna, Crisplosion on Uther, and Babeta on Malfurion. The team just recently joined up with the organization with Meteor Makers that were known as To Be Determined before that. To the right side of the map, their opponent is Team Roccat with Shadowmar on Sylvanas, Hanzops on Vala, Chris on Zeratul, Sport Billy on Lily, and Zocke on Nubarak. So yeah, our first game of the day. It's of course quite important to see who's going to qualify for Enter the Storm 3 for the finals, for the big final tournament. We already have 7 teams that qualified coming from Enter the Storm 2, but now in the 3rd season we have 9 qualification tournaments, and teams will gather ranking points, and we are going to find out which teams will be able to advance to the finals. But yeah, so the next few weeks are going to be a lot of fun, with a lot of work for the teams here, and this is only the first one of many tournaments to come, and let's see who's going to be able to get those first few points. We have on this best of 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Chris on Zeratul. It's actually cool to see Zeratul here, of course going straight for the auto attack build with Seasoned Marksman on level 1, just because these days Zeratul is just banned out so often. His auto attack build is just absolutely insanely strong, and I'm I'm a little bit surprised that he wasn't banned out here. The reason why I'm surprised is that usually you try to go for the auto attack build, which I already said, and Seasoned Marksman, it's very easy to get stacks on this map. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why, for example, Asmodan is oftentimes played on Tomb of the Spider Queen. In this case, he was actually banned out. But getting stacks together for Zeratul is also pretty easy. The only thing that you have to do is just really roam between the lanes and make sure that you get those creep waves. And that's exactly what Zeratul is going to start doing a bit later on. Down here, we have Meteor Makers trying to go for a kill against Shadowmar. Sylvanas is low, was trapped with a wall of zombies for a second, but gets away with a haunting wave, so well done here. Hanzops, by the way, on level 1 going for Rancor. Curious to see if that's going to be a hybrid build or if he's going to go straight for an auto attack build, trying to burst somebody down. One of the main reasons why you want to go for a bit more burst is that we have a double healer combination for their opponents. Meteor Makers is playing this with Malfurion and Rhaegar, and every time you're going up against double heal, you are normally trying to go more for direct damage against a single target and not so much for area of effect damage, just because that can be healed out very easily by a double healer combo. So in this case, it's really going to be that setup that is going to try and go straight for a single target and take that down. Another talent, of course, this is great on this map, is in this case now Regeneration Master and Nubarak, which is very good. This is one of the reasons why you might even prefer the hero over a potential Muradin, for example. Oh, Hanzops is getting zoned here and stunned. Could get away, but just barely. Shadowmar blocking the path of Crisplosion here. Very well done, actually, by Roccat now this early in the game. Manticore after Rancor taken, so we are going to see that complete auto attack build on the side of Vala, whereas Lily on level 4 did actually not go into the Blinding Wind build that is becoming very popular on the heroes these days, but instead going straight for the Mending Serpent, so quite a lot of heal that we're going to see out of the little cutesy panda here. It's all about the turn-ins on this map, getting those turn-in points here, turning the gems in. And we have actually, like, right now, a very interesting meta. Just because of the recent patch and the changes to a lot of the heroes, there has been a big flux. We see Lily a lot more often, Brightwing has nearly disappeared completely, and also Nazebo, for example, making a reappearance. We've seen him a couple of times already, but it's always cool to just see that spider build on Nazebo and him trying to get that damage out. Gary the Gargantuan is the level 10 ability that we are seeing for him these days over the Ravenous Spirit, which is barely used. But again, that stun setup, they're going for Hands-Ops, but Vala is able to get away with the ball. But there's the wall of zombies. Very well done here on the side of Blade. And of course then the damage is following things up to take down Vala and therefore securing the first kill for Meteor Makers. Meteor Makers, well, they have still to prove themselves a bit. They've already been doing quite well when they were still playing under the name To Be Determined, but they still have to show that they are able to take on the best teams in Europe, and so far they are actually doing quite well here. They have 2 kills already against 0. We're seeing Johanna now up at the top lane, trying to use Night Takes Pawn to push those even further back. When it comes to the gems turned in, then both of the teams are actually doing a pretty decent job, but especially Roccat is getting a slight advantage when it comes down to the Web Weavers. They only miss 8 more gems, and they have those already, though, so they could turn them in. Regarding the talents that we're seeing on the side of our double healer composition for Meteor Makers, we're having now Protective Shield taken, and also the Rampant Growth. This is actually one of those talents that a lot of people criticize a lot, since from a mathematical point is apparently the worst talent that you could possibly get on any hero in the game. But yeah, teams still take it. So Malfurion is one of those heroes where we still see changes in the build, I want to say. Loon's Grace is oftentimes the level 4 talent that is being established these days, just because it increases the range of all your basic abilities by quite a lot. The Red Weavers, by the way, are also released now, and we have a 4-man rotation down to the bot lane. They're really trying to burst this one down, and there has, of course, to be an answer from their opponent's team. Meteor Makers is trying to somehow meet this, but they are starting to struggle a bit. In the mid lane, we're having one of the Web Weavers already attacked by Crisplosion and Ramad Baller. Sport Billy is trying to head over there to maybe irritate them for a bit longer, but at the bot lane, that's where we have the pressure against the fort, and you can already see that this one is not going to make it. I mean, this fort is going to go down either way. The question is, are they going to lose some heroes in the process? And it doesn't really look like it. So far, it's actually Roccat that is starting to do the damage here and pushing the opponent back. Up at the top lane, the Web Weaver is still alive. Soccer is trying to push here too. He went straight on level 7 for the Bed of Barbs for the additional control with his own spike that he can use. Unstable poison, searing attacks, talents that you do just expect for these heroes to be taken. And the rotation from the bot lane straight into the middle now that the bottom fort has been eliminated. Shake It Off, the level 7 talent for Lily. Very standard right now on any Lily build, not only on the Blinding Wind build, but also on this one. The talent is just way too good to pass up on. Hazorp's already moving back here, and he needs to make sure that he gets away because he is running out of mana, and that was probably the last ball that he had available. We're also seeing Conviction taken for Johanna, and that will just allow Johanna to really initiate a bit better. One of the problems that Johanna has is that she doesn't really have a gap closer. Condemn, of course, helps you a bit with this, sucking people in like a vortex, but still, if you have Conviction and you get that speed bonus as well then on level 7 when you're trying to use that talent, it helps you just to initiate against opponents and to close the distance. So that can be a really nice one. With the double healer, we could even see a silence on the side of Malfurion, depending on what exactly Meteor Makers wants to do there. But now they are falling behind in experience. Roccat might have lost 2 heroes early on, but they are the ones with the early Web Weavers, and that gave them a fort at the bot lane, and therefore an early level 10. And that, of course, intimidates now Meteor Makers even more. Meteor Makers can't really move out on the map. They cannot turn in. They only miss 5 gems, but they can't really do anything about this, just because there are level 10 abilities already in the map for Team Roccat. And Roccat has now the Wailing Arrow, Rain of Vengeance, Void Prison, the Jug of 1,000 Cups, and Web Blast. But once level 10 hits for Meteor Makers, they might have a chance to turn those gems in and maybe close that gap in experience, because they really have to. They have the gems on their side, they have 44, they only need 5 more, and they took a Bruiser Cap, and that is going to help them to push this in. Gary taken on level 10, and we're basically having a little bit of a zoo here, with Water Elemental also making an appearance, and the snipe against Lily! Whoa, all that hate against that Panda. No Panda love right here, and this is of course going to be the turn in, and we have the mid lane pushing hard. Gary is there, the Water Elemental as well, and we're still looking at that Bruiser camp. So Meteor Makers with 3 kills against 0, they're doing well in this regard. But we are also still seeing Chris on his Zeratul trying to get more Season Marksman stacks so that he can do more extra damage in the later stages of the game. And that is of course one of the things that Meteor Makers needs to be concerned about. Right now the top lane is being pushed by the Web Weavers, or will be in a second, but it's the mid lane where we see the most pressure coming from Meteor Makers. But they're starting to get a bit low on most of their heroes here when it comes to mana, especially in Zero is currently in a bit of trouble. The rest is actually still fine, I want to say. But also when it comes to just hit points, there is a bit of a deficit. Most of them are only at half HP, but they should still be able to take this fort. At the bot lane, Hazorps already took down Web Weaver number 1, and up at the top lane, Jacobs is trying to utilize the Web Weaver here to make something happen. Over here, the Web Weaver is also gone, but maybe this could be the turnaround. Is Soccer gonna go in? Doesn't look like he will. He's going for Uther, but there's the heal immediately. Tranquility already being used. And just like this, the defense by Roccat not losing a single fort, whereas the opponent already suffered the loss of 2 of those. Everybody moving back for mana or hit points. And up at the top lane, we're now seeing Roccat still making sure that the second Web Weaver doesn't even get a single tower. In experience, on the other hand, they are currently on nearly the same level. It's not quite the same, but still, they're very close. And we still have 60 gems on the side of Team Meteor Makers. Of course, there's also quite a lot of gems for Roccat, and they could turn those in to get another Web Weaver set, and there it is. So in this case, Meteor Makers was just a bit too late. Striving for level 13, that's currently the job for both of the teams, but, well, the defense of those Web Weavers, that's the first thing that has to happen here. Another kill against the Nuburak. Really well done. Meteor Makers, with their team coordination, are really liking this. Rotations on the map, I want to say, are currently a bit better for Roccat, but when it comes to the team coordination and really just calling targets, going straight for individual heroes, that is where Meteor Makers currently excels, and you can really see that with 5 kills against 0, they're doing very well. Of course, it's always tricky to kill heroes against a double healer composition, no doubt about that. But they have heroes that should be able to make this work. Another problem is that Johanna is just such a disruptive force in these fights, and she's showcasing it. Once again, we have Lily using her Auric ability, and level 13 is now also available on the side of Roccat, so the red team can try and make some use of that. They already have the Giant Killer talent taken with Evasive Fire. And what's going to be quite nice too is that we're seeing Shrink Ray for Lily, and in this case it's probably going to be used to just slow Johanna down a bit. Looking at damage in general, well, we have the 13 talent also on the side now of Meteor Maker, so a quick look at that. We have currently only 1 ice block. We could see a second one, and there it is. Yes, Malfurion is also using this talent. And a Shrink Ray for them to control Zeratul a bit better in the fights, whereas Nazeebo now finally has an escape, but so far he didn't even need that. When it comes to heals, the double healer composition are of course excelling on that part, but Lily with 15,000 still having a pretty solid number there. We're seeing again the attempt to turn in. Chris is jumping in and out whenever he can. He's trying to get that damage in, but we're already having Barbeta with Tranquility Web Blast being used. Zocke moves out, tries to join up with the rest of the team, but there's very little that he can do at this point. He's actually getting locked down, and he's still in cooldown. So Zocke dying here, 6 kills against 0. Hazorps is moving away. Meteor Makers is actually doing a great job here. 7 kills against 0. And we have 92 gems that they still have and could turn in. Everybody just rushing away. The fort in the mid lane already eliminated, and at this point they didn't even take the Web Weavers just yet. So they have so many gems, they can easily turn those in and try to make their best out of it. So it's really a bit tricky, I feel, for Team Roccat now. I don't think that they really expected to have such a tough time against their opponents here. Currently Remad, Baller and Blade are aiming for another camp. They're taking that already. boss hasn't been touched yet, but why would you? Going into the throw pit is always a massive, massive risk, and we saw more than one team just throw their advantage away by trying to get the boss. In this case now, as the death timers are still pretty small, there's no real reason to go for that. But yeah, 44 gems still available for the blue team, and on the red team side we have 30 that they could use to turn in once that the defense on the web weavers has been successful. But they are moving straight to the top, and the one thing that really works for Rocketeer is that they actually like had those lanes pushed out quite a lot. I mean, just look at the bottom lane, right? That web weaver over here is not really going to do a thing. It's not going to threaten that keep or fort in the slightest, but it's more about the pressure that we're seeing coming off the mid lane now, especially with that bruiser camp. This is where Team Meteor Makers is going to try and make their stand to move in and take the opponents down, and they're already on the move here, going straight for the wall. We have Remad Baller in this case now also with the possibility to just like drop another blizzard behind enemy lines there, and there it is. One blizzard comes in, and of course the web weaver helping out with the damage now as well. The wall is gone within seconds, and actually by now the web weaver down here is starting to do some work as well. There's nobody to really take care of it, so can completely go for those structures unhindered. Web weaver in the mid lane is on the other hand gone, and by now we have level 16 and therefore additional talents for Meteor Makers, and they are currently starting to use those. I mean, we have now first of all Numbing Blast taken. The leaping spiders are going to become an absolute nuisance, and it looks like they're trying to set up a bit of a trap. So over here we have Blade baiting them out, or at least trying to, but nobody is really following this up, so Meteor Makers decides to just move back for now. We see Johanna against the auto attack heroes on the side of Team Rocket going for imposing presence. Could have gone, of course, for a couple of other abilities here. One of them would have been Blessed Hammer, which we see a lot, but against this many auto attack heroes it makes sense to go for imposing presence. Benediction, Tenacious Roots, great talents to take, and it looks like we might see another turn-in attempt. They are, I think, one gem short, if I'm not mistaken, but if they are able to get that, yeah, well, up here they are definitely going to get another one, so they could get another turn-in. There's no level 16 for the red team, and that's the biggest problem that they have right now. They don't want to fight, not with a talent disadvantage. It's an important talent to take, so they just have to wait once again, and this is going to be the next web weaver set, and this one is going to be even a bigger problem than the previous one. Right now, the 16 talents, they finally hit for Team Rocket, but it's already a bit too late. Currently we're having a Herbal Cleanse taken. There's Rending Cleave, so in this case not going for the double bombs, but instead using Rending Cleave on Zeratul with the additional damage. We're also seeing Cold Embrace. Maybe now they are able to just like burst somebody down, because Rocket doesn't have a single kill yet. Talking about that, oh, there's the attack. Finally they're starting moving. Good silence! Very well done by Sylvanas. Web Blast being used, ice blocks everywhere. The attempt of the double healer to heal them out, but there's the first kill. It's against Jaina. Now a lot of the damage is of course missing. Another ice block on Malfurion, but that's only going to delay things as Nazebo is now dead as well. Uther dying too, and just like that, Rocket jumping in, getting 3 kills in a row. They're trying to go for Babeta, and they're going to get this one as well. 4 kills, only Johanna able to escape here. Very well done. It was a very dangerous situation for Rocket. Web weavers everywhere, and of course the massive advantage that we saw on the side of Team Meteor Makers, and just like that they have an opportunity to take maybe a lead in experience. They take down the web weavers, but of course the wall down here is already breached. One of the towers is gone, second one as well, and it looks like Rocket is gonna try for boss. They move into the throw pit with Sport Billy and Zocke, but most of the heroes for Meteor Makers are still dead. Vala going for the Executioner Tower, not even bothering with the blood for blood here, just saying nope, we need damage and we need a lot of it, so go straight for that and try to take them out. Yeah, Chakops is already moving in. There's Remad Baller as well, but I do not think they can prevent this. The throw pit, there it is, but oh, can they maybe turn it around after all? They're moving in. Just look at the heroes on the side of Rocket. They're so low, but Web Blast is saving their ass. They get the boss, and just like that, Bala is dead. They might lose the fight. They lose 2 heroes, but thanks to Web Blast, they at least get the boss. 3 heroes down. The throw pit once again true to its name, but at least thanks to Sokka's heroic ability, they were able to get the boss, who now moves to the left side, so they have to defend against this one. At least I thought they would, but to be honest with you, I mean, they're just moving in straight for the keep, and they're saying like, yeah, we don't care about the boss at all. Boss is over there very much solo, and Nazebo can take care of that. Yeah, they should still finish this one. Okay, there we go. I was worried for a second there. The throw pit, I mean, it's always a pleasure. It's one of the things that makes this map so special, and I can really feel with the teams. You know that your opponent still has heroes down for another 20-25 seconds, and you think like, yeah, that's plenty of time. And then all of a sudden it turns out that it's actually not. The boss is defeated and the keep is still alive. So the first keep is down in the game. Meteor Maker is able to take that. And we have it now down to the bot lane. Yeah, they're going to go for the walls here to try and take those out as well, and so they should. But yeah, level 20 is going to happen very soon here, and with level 20 abilities, they have a significant lead. Looks like Nazebo is going to try and meet up with the rest of the team, but they already took the Siege Giant camp down to the bot lane. So Sport Billy is still here. Zocke moves in, misses the stun though, hits the second one, but they are together again. All is 5, and of course they do not want to fight. Meteor Makers don't want to fight now. Why would they? They are so close to level 20. They're just saying, hey boys, just move back, get a bit of experience. We only need 1 wave, maybe 2, and then we have level 20. Why would we ever engage into a battle right now? There's just absolutely no need for us to do that. And there's also, of course, not enough gems on the side of their opponents to really get the web weavers and do anything about it. So at this point we have again everybody just like moving around, trying to look where they can gather some experience, and the answer is right here, staring around Bowler into the eyes. So there we go, level 20 with Redemption, with Invincible, a double Bolt of the Storm, and we're also having a Storm Shield now. So even more survivability. If you go up against a team like this, you're already annoyed that those double healers are just like, they are basically negating your entire efforts of dropping a target, and then you hit level 20 and they have even more sustain with a Storm Shield, with that Redemption talent. They have escapes now with the Bolt of the Storm, and this must be one of those moments where if you're on the team of Roccat, you just look at those talents and you're like, oh my god, really? We're not gonna kill anybody here, are we? 11 kills against 4 thus far, and at this point we are having them straight to the right side, going straight for that second keep maybe. Keep in the mid lane is of course down. Just look down at the bot lane here. Chris is actually trying to get... yeah, what is he trying to do? Trying to get level 20, I suppose, for his team, but that means that he's missing up at the top lane. We're seeing 4 heroes still defending. It would be an early out for Roccat if they lose against Meteor Makers here. It's a pretty brutal bracket, the lower part of the bracket that is. There's a lot of good teams that are over there. And right now, it's of course a quite fierce competition. Enter the Storm 3, the main event is going to be an absolutely amazing tournament. I mean, $10,000 in prize money, plus hardware prizes as well. I think they're worth another 8,000, so it's going to be absolutely massive. Great online tournament, and therefore both of the teams are going to give their best here. There's 9 qualifiers in total, as already mentioned before, and it's going to be very interesting to see who at the end will be at the top of the standings and therefore qualify for the final event. But right now we have both of the teams on level 20, and that means that in this case we're having now a jug of 1,000,000 cups. I am surprised to see this talent. Normally on Lily you expect Kung Fu Hustle. It got nerfed in the last patch, but it is still amazing. And I'm really weirded out to see this, because normally Kung Fu Hustle is just so damn good. You have Shake It Off all the time, you have that Herbal Cleanse available to you the entire time, so it's pretty cool. But I guess it's more popular when you go for the Lily Blinding Wind build, which we don't really see in this case. So yeah, still curious, didn't really expect 1,000,000 cups, but still it's a very good talent to take. The healing numbers on Lily on this one are pretty damn good, and Lily is currently at 33,000 heal, which is not too bad. But well, over here, Blessed Shield already taken. They're trying to go for the kill. The Void Prison actually saving him. The Void Prison saving Sylvanas. Totally on purpose there, but Sylvanas still dying after the Void Prison is over with. But Beta with his tranquility. It was a nice attempt by Chris to make sure that Sylvanas wasn't dying here, trying to save some time, but there was just nothing that they could do to keep her alive. And now all of a sudden it's once again a 5-man lineup that is moving straight into the top lane. The red web weavers are descending. We had Zeratul at least turn in. That might help them here, but of course this keep should fall. 5 versus 3 at this point. Chris meeting up with the rest of the team, turning into 5 versus 4 at least. Here come the web weavers. Maybe that's enough. Blade is low, is very low, but so is Azorbs. Crisplosion is trying to get his cooldowns ready so that he can heal up once more. But now this Webweaver wave is one of the few things that they can throw into the battle to really push their opponents back. 17 gems, that's what we are seeing on the side of Meet Your Makers, and so far it's only that one keep. I mean, we're talking the entire time about kills, of course, and kills are important in this game, but it's not like we're playing Dota or LoL where kills are playing even a bigger role. This late in the game, it's more about how much time you really spend on those death timers. And one team fight can just like immediately turn things around here. And with the Webweavers now starting to de-push every single lane, at least some map controllers finally in the grasp of Team Rocket again. So they have a chance here. And this is not going to be easy, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is still a really tough battle for them. But the Blessed Shield missing, and that's a good start for them into the fight. Here comes the Water Elemental now as well, and Remnant Ball is immediately being attacked, as we're seeing, of course, Lily going straight for the healer, and they're keeping everybody alive. But Web Blast has been annihilated, and here is Johanna back to business, as Gary is already down. The Gargantian is dead. Chris moves in with a quick Void Prism, but the attempted kill against Jane are not successful. Hazorbs actually jumps in, but oh my god, that last second ice prop that we saw there. The iceberg really making work, and they're moving back again. Everybody is so low. Sock is trying to escape. Chris using his wormhole once again. Sport Billy's everywhere trying to heal his team. They are so low. They have to move back. I don't think that they can really kill them. Yes, a few of the heroes for Meteor Makers are extremely low in mana, but for now they just escape. And very nice battle there. If they could have gotten the kill on Jaina, maybe they could have been able to turn this around, but as it happens, they were just lacking the damage. I mean, Hazorbs, like balls deep, jumps in with his Bolt of the Storm and tries to take down with Rain of Vengeance and a few auto attacks the mage hero on the side of the blue team, but in this case it didn't really work out. Oh, Chekhovs is actually like checking the throw pit. I don't really think that any of these teams has the balls to really go for the boss now. That would just be asking a bit too much, I want to say. So right now they're already starting to move in once again right down here. And well, let's look actually like how many stacks we have for 29 Regeneration Master. That's bonus health regeneration of 43 per second. And of course, it's also quite interesting to see how much a Zeratul has. The overlay, of course, is a bit in the way there, but still, that's still definitely something we can check out. 53 stacks on Seasoned Marksman. That's quite a solid amount of extra damage. 24 minutes into the game. Soccer with the regeneration is in a situation where he should have a lot of sustain now compared to the earlier stages of the game, but it's really more about the damage output that we're seeing. And Zeratul is currently at 27,000, but Vala with 61,000 with the right-click build that she's using here for the auto attacks. The same amount, by the way, that we're seeing on Azebo, who's using those spiders. Top lane and bottom lane are now being attacked. The Webweaver set this time for the blue team. Meet Your Makers is trying to get that win here. Zocca is already moving back. They are split in this situation. Polymorph, and there is immediately a Web Blast and also Void Prison. Great kill. Really nice isolation. They're isolating two of the targets, but thanks to Sprint, Blade is getting away here. Once more, it's a 5 versus 4, but this time in favor of Team Rocket. The keep is nearly down. Can they kill this one? It's actually interesting that we still have the red team, sorry, the blue team moved in with a 4 versus 5 situation. Up at the top lane, the Webweavers already went through the keep. That's the second one that's down for Team Rocket. The problem is, if Rocket takes down the heroes right now, then they can still try to go through one of the keeps and maybe even core it. The death timers are incredibly long at this point, but we're seeing Meteor Makers trying to move back. Johanna, they're trying to keep her alive, of course, and nearly the kill against Chris. Zeratul is so close to dying, and so is Soccer. He has great regeneration now with the Regeneration Master talent, but still everybody is extremely low on the side of Rocket. They have to move back. The red team is in trouble here. They cannot follow this up. It's tempting, of course, but moving in right now would be a massive risk. The thing is, though, they are still losing keeps. They lost 2 already, and the bottom keep is also about to die. Jaina is back to business, and they are going to move in very soon. Siege damage, by the way. Just look at those numbers that we're seeing on the side of the blue team. 140,000, 150,000 twice. Once on Jaina and once on Johanna. Team JJ is doing a lot of work here. And well, to the right side, we're of course seeing Sylvanas with nearly 200,000. That's really where her unstable poison comes into play. Zocca, Shadowmar, Hazorbs, and Sport Billy, I mean, they're really trying here. They already suffered some damage on the core. 95% currently what they have here. But this game, this is really getting crazy. This game is getting really nice. Chris up at the top, still trying to dish out the damage here. And of course, like the one thing that they have to do in these team fights is exactly what they did in the last one. Web Blast, one of the healers, try to go for a good Void Prism to isolate one or two. Ideally Jaina. Isolate Jaina, maybe Malfurion, maybe Nazeebo, and try to drop them. And I can't believe like that they're going for the boss. The balls of steel, and they put them on the table. There is no way. Wow, that is a really, really gutsy move. That might backfire. They go into the throw pit, Meteor Makers. They're not afraid to fight here. They should be afraid though. Just like that, Crystplosion is about to die, but still he has redemption, so he can go for it. Here comes the Web Blast, both of the healers are isolated, and we're seeing a great ice block, but Chris drops Jaina once again. It's a 4 versus 5, and Zeratul is dead as well. It's a 4 versus 4, Zeratul dead, but everybody is starting to get extremely low. Once again, we have the Divine Shield on Johanna, and she's moving in for another Condemn, but doesn't have that just yet in the backline. We have Babeta and Crystplosion trying to heal out the rest of the team. Shield Guy being used against the Nubarak, at least for now, but he has the stun ready and stops them down at the bot lane. We still have another camp moving in. It's the Siege Giant camp that they took earlier, and the core is under so much pressure, and the Siege Giants of course took down the keep as well. So just like that, we're having not a single structure standing for Roccat. They are in trouble, and in quite a lot of it as well. Once again, the boss is being attacked here. They're trying to go for it. Look just at the damage taken, 104,000 for both of the tanks basically. Crystplosion getting really low, stunned out by the boss. No, not quite, but so much damage here. Did he actually cleanse himself just now? Looks like he did actually. He should have been stunned. He at least received the damage. Again, Lily with the heroic ability, healing herself out. Oh, Jaina is on the way back. That would be a 5 versus 4 as Zeratul is on the other side of the map. Another ice block here to keep Malfurion alive. Jacobs is also in a bit of trouble, but here comes again the Web Blast. Soccer, they're trying to stun him out. Not successfully though. And Hazob's very low here. Those leaping spiders on Nazeebo, they're doing so much work here. And there comes again the silence! And that was a really good one. Great silence, and they kill Nazeebo. That might be exactly what they needed here. Already triggering the shield, the 20 ability on Johanna. Indestructible has been triggered, and they're moving back. So it's a 5 versus 4 for now. But just look at all these waves pushing in here. Chris is trying to defend. He's trying to do what he can. Are they maybe going for boss? They have 76 gems. They can get Web Weavers, and they're going exactly for that. There's the check up at the top lane if there's maybe an attempt to take boss now. But this game is absolutely crazy. God, I'm loving this. The lanes are pushing in hard with all those catapults that we're seeing. They're going straight for the core, but at least the Web Weavers are going to help with that. Help to gain some map control for Roccat and D-push. That's going to be pretty nice. But just look at the damage, by the way, that we're seeing here on the side of Nazeebo. He has 100,000 hero damage already. More than Bala with a 91,000. Nazeebo and his leaping spiders, and of course Gary as well. They are doing so much work. I mean, it's a menace, and they were probably really happy when they killed him for the first time, by the way. The only hero that didn't die yet at all is in this case Johanna. Actually, Nazeebo died twice in this game so far. But yeah, Johanna, the only hero that didn't die yet. But this is an amazing one. This is a great game. Here comes that pressure play, and now they're of course going to try to at least take one of those lanes down. The catapults are so annoying to deal with. If they can kill a keep, then they relieve some of the pressure, and that's all that they need to do for now. Slowly and steadily getting a foothold in the game again. Roccat is trying to turn this around. A 30-minute game already, boys. 30 minutes into the game, and right over here, the patience that we're seeing from Roccat, not engaging yet, but they lose the Web Weaver because of it. Here comes the attack straight against Vala. Vala moving away, and again in the backline, Sport Billy with the heroic ability. The Void Prism not really isolating them, but a really good Rain of Vengeance, only hitting one of the waves, but still hitting 2 heroes here. Crystplosion is getting kind of low, but once again, Tranquility, and the kill attempt against the Nubarak, but he moves away, stuns even Johanna out. There comes another stun, and they're moving back as we speak. The wall of zombies not hitting anybody here. Remet Ball on his Jaina was once again one of the priority targets, but Chris had to move back already. Everybody is just on the run once more, but nobody dying just yet. 13 kills against 7. We are 31 minutes into the game right now. The lanes have been deep pushed. Not a single keep has fallen. Good job by Meteor Makers. They're really putting effort in here, and they are doing very, very well. Now Zeratul, of course, is here back in the backline. And keep in mind, mind that we have a couple of talents that are just getting stronger and stronger as the game progresses. Zeratul is by now at 69 bonus damage. 69 bonus damage on the auto attacks. And let's have a quick look at Anubarak. Anubarak is interestingly enough still at 39, actually I thought he had more by now, but he's at 39 extra stacks of Regeneration Master. That is going to help, but Zeratul is just a beast in the late game now. And they're moving in again. The Vine Shield already being used. Lily State going for the AoE heal once more. The battle is happening, and Gary is about to go down once again. The Gargantuan is trying to move back as well. Everybody is on the run, especially Rematball is in trouble. Gets healed once, gets healed twice. Back to full health, and they are moving back once again. Let's look at the damage numbers. Oh, first of all, let's look at the talents here once again if you want to see the builds. Of course, Zeratul with the auto attack bird, having focused attack and follow through after seasoned marksman. Everywhere we see those fights, and you could really see that momentum shift a bit from the right side of the map to the left as Roccat is starting to be more aggressive and really trying to hit their stride here. The problem that they have, of course, is that there's just wave after wave pushing in against the core, and with 3 catapults, this is a problem, a big problem at that. Zeratul is by now at 48,000 damage. That's, by the way, the same damage that we're seeing on the side of Anubarak. So he's, of course, a hero that is really trying to just like target the damage a little bit more against one individual hero. And if Chris is able, with the Void Prison, to isolate, to section off a few heroes of the team and maybe go for a kill against Jaina or Malfurion, that's all that they need. That's really where those ice blocks come into play. But we are 33 minutes into the game already. This is a really good one, boys. Again, over here, uh-oh. Johanna didn't die in the game yet, but she might. They were trying to go for the camp down here, and they're trying to take that. Chris is there, though. Is Chris going to move in for it? No, he's a little bit too late. He won't try and take this one. Once again, the top lane is pushing in, the mid lane as well. Roccat have the big problem that they can't lose time in a standoff. If they do that, the rest of the lanes are pushing in, then they have to move back again, give up the control in the middle of the map, and that's, of course, exactly what Meteor Makers wants right now. They are trying to turn in again. They need 70 gems. They have only 46. There's 71 gems, by the way, that we're seeing for Roccat. That's one of the advantages that they have right now, that the gems are coming to them, if you so want. And again, the top lane has to be deep pushed, but there's only one catapult moving in with this one. A bit of a trap attempt. Malfurion actually trying to snuggle in there. That didn't really fit at first. Oh, Soccer is double checking, I hope, only if there is an attempt to take the boss. They're moving straight in for... Who are they going to try and take? They're going to straight for Soccer again. And Nubarak in trouble. Raid of Vengeance being used. The Void Prison already sectioning off one of the healers. Web Blast being used as well, but a bit too late. A lot of the heroics are already down, and in this case there's the 5-man push from Meteor Makers, and they are smelling blood in the water right now. Like sharks, they're circling their prey, and they're trying to go straight for Koya. Are they not? They're trying to at least put some additional pressure in. Bot lane is also moving in now as well, and Sylvanas is in a situation where she has to deep push against the Seashire, and Camden was taken earlier. Again, Condemn being used, and the snipe against Zeratul. Zeratul is dead. A 5 versus 4, and they're trying to go for core this time. The bot lane is already pushing in pretty hard. Mid lane is also coming in. Jacobs, on the other hand, nearly dying, but he still has the invincible shield that he can use. It wasn't even triggered just yet, and he's being healed up once again. Zocke is doing what he can to deal with the threat, but the catapults are everywhere right now, and now they're moving back once again. Are they going to go for boss? It looks like they are, and this is something that Roccat has to contest. They cannot just simply let that stand. They have to do something about it, but do they have the time? Just look how fast they're going to try and burst this away. Bot lane is pushing, and Roccat, they know that they have to do something here. They are in a 5 versus 4 situation, but they have to try and contest it. The boss is still at half HP, and they're going for the battle here. Johanna at the front line. Once again, Sportbilly with his heroic ability on Lily, trying to get the healing numbers out as we see the water elemental coming into play again, trying to lock down Anubarak, and ooh, they're going straight for him here, trying to take him there. The dogs are out as well. I don't know why, but they definitely are. The kill against Anubarak. They get the kill in. Really well done. And now the move up against the mid lane here, where we have again Hazobs trying to move back in the mid lane. There's already the move by Sportbilly and Chris. They're trying to escape here, at least for now, up to the top. That's where we're currently seeing Blade with the rest going straight for the boss, and this could be the end of the game. Look at that siege damage on the side of Sylvanas. 355,000 in that game now. 200,000 for Johanna still in against that battle. They don't want to lose the boss here. Oh, the kill against Jaina, and there's the Void Prison, but the boss is also caught in the Void Prison. Who's gonna take it here? Here comes the Raid of Vengeance. Oh, Malfurion is dead. Can Roccat turn it around? Roccat! Oh, they lose. Uther is dead now as well. He still has redemption. Blade is the only one still alive. I cannot believe this. Shadowmar dying, and Blade, he is able to go straight for it. Secures the boss. Everybody dying except Hazobs. The core under even more pressure. 70% on it. The boss moving in. Hazobs trying to move back. The GG well played already called. Meteor Makers. What a fight that we just had there. 37 minutes into the game, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it. Game number 1, round 1, ending in favor of Meteor Makers, eliminating Roccat from the first ETS 3 qualifier. What a game! Oh my god. Meteor Makers with the victory. Really great game that we saw between the two teams there, and that was really a back and forth match that we had between the two. Also, of course, always a pleasure to see the throw pit in action again. This is actually one of the most fun parts of matches on Tomb of the Spider Queen, that we just have that golem up at the top, or the boss, in such a spot where both teams can reach it so easily and really try to contest the other party. Very well done here, and in this case, of course, Meteor Makers advancing. They were the underdog going into the match, but you can really tell that these guys are pretty strong and here to stay. So I'm very, very happy to see more of their games. And of course for Roccat it's a bit sad, but there's still 8 more qualifiers where they can participate and qualify for the final tournament. So yeah, with this, of course, we're going to head into the next games in just a bit. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And guys, of course, if you haven't subscribed to Khaldor TV yet, hit that sub button. And I'm going to see you soon with more Heroes of the Storm and Enter the Storm content on Khaldor TV.